Welcome into New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green, as always. I hope everybody's having a good Wednesday. A little bit late to the party. I apologize. But we had some breaking news surrounding the New York Knicks. A lot of news and rumors have come out in the past hour or so. And our show on Giants Now by Chat Sports ran a little bit long. It's getting busy with the NFL season. But we have some stuff to talk about, some real stuff. The New York Knicks, they have signed a player. There's also a report on Carmelo Anthony that the New York Knicks are not interested in re-signing him. And Donovan Mitchell was asked by Brian Windhorst about the New York Knicks, and he gave some pretty interesting quotes. I don't want to talk too much about Donovan Mitchell, but I just think it's newsworthy and noteworthy to see what he said about it. I thought he had some pretty cool little quotes in there that he said. We're going to break all that down in the show, but program alert, Patrick Seatman is back. He wasn't here last week. He's back this week. Show Pat some love in the chat. Pat, chop it up with the Knicks fans.
Man, it is great to be back. I love talking Knicks every Wednesday night, and we already got I Am Jules starting it off hot with the Super Chat, which we'll get to in a second. But I'm excited to be back. We're going to move on. I actually haven't talked to you guys since the Donovan Mitchell trade. It's been a while. So I'm excited to give my thoughts. It's going to be a great stream, and we're just going to have fun with it because the Knicks, they're a very fun, exciting, up-and-coming team this year. And I'm just excited, and it's going to be a good time. So we're going to have a good time today. We're going to have some fun with it. Me and Marsh, we were in the lab cooking a ton of stuff up for you guys right before this, and it's been a really busy day, but this is something I look forward to. So I'm excited. Shout out. We got I Am Jules, real one. We'll get to that in a second. Carl, yes, sir, the Ginger Assassin is in the building. I'm back, Carl, just for you, man. Charles Palmo's definition of a real one right there. Marquise Robinson saying, welcome back, Patrick. Let's go. Yeah, but I'm happy to be back, guys. And here's the first Super Chat. He says, I am Jules. Hey, my name is Julio. Finally made it to my first live stream. I just so happened to not be busy today. Been watching since around 1,000 subscribers. Keep it up. I look forward to your videos every day. Marsh, that's a real love.
That means he was around when Chase Sr. was doing most of the videos. I got to do an occasional video, but that's when we started. I was the reason this channel got started. But at the time, I wasn't an on-air guy at Chat Sports. I was a assistant production guy. Then I moved my way up to a producer. Then I moved my way to an on-air. And now we're talking about the New York Knicks. The fact you've been around I Am Jules since 1,000 subs, that is the definition of being a real one. Shout out to you for that. Shout out for the $10 Super Chat. That's mad love. Hashtag real one. Alrighty, first question I want to ask today, because I feel like last week when we asked this question, a lot of people were speaking with emotion. They were still upset or happy or however they felt about the Donovan Mitchell trade, right? Seems like a lot of people were down on the New York Knicks. It's like since they didn't make the trade, the whole offseason was a failure. Like they didn't sign Jalen Brunson to a great deal. Like they didn't get R.J. Barrett on a steal of a contract. Like they didn't re-sign Mitchell Robinson. They made some big moves. Jalen Brunson's going to be a stud. A lot of people last week said under when we asked this question.
Really?
But I want to see what they say today.
Yeah, I'm curious.
39.5 wins for the New York Knicks this season. Let me know what you think. Type O for over, U for under. I think the Knicks can win 42 to 45 games with Jalen Brunson. Be about a 500 team. You know, look, you won 37 games last year. And that was with Alec Burks starting 60 games at the point guard spot. Yeah. Jalen Brunson is going to come in and change the dynamic of this team. I think people, I know it happened so quick, right? Like, we traded or we signed Jalen Brunson, and then the trade rumors for Donovan Mitchell pretty much started a day later, so we really didn't get to talk as much about Brunson I would have liked on this channel. I feel like people aren't appreciating the player he is. I mean, Seeps, you've watched him and you've known about him since high school. What can the Knicks fans expect from Jalen Brunson this year as a player? And just like, what is he going to mean to this team?
So I'm super excited. Like, yes, Donovan Mitchell trade didn't happen. I'm sure Knicks fans, you guys are still upset about it. But I'm excited to see how Brunson will play as being the number one option on this team. I've been watching him since high school. He went to a local school in Chicago, Illinois called Stevenson, and he won 2 state championships there. Went to Nova, as we know, and he won 2 national championships there. He's a winner. I think Jalen Brunson, he has probably some of the best footwork as a guard in the NBA. He will bully. I mean, if there's a guard that's his size or even an inch taller than him, he will grab him and put him down on the low block and just take him to school. And then, again, I can't wait. Marsh was saying Knicks lost a ton of close games last year. If you're going to be able to throw him the ball and be, hey, Julius, hey, Mitchell Robinson, come here, we're running this pick and roll, he's going to make the right decision. He's like a quarterback, Marsh. Like, it's kind of like I'm super excited. You guys will be excited once you see it, too.
I've heard you say he's not him, but kind of like a Chris Paul-esque type of point guard.
Yeah, kind of like, I know it's kind of like extreme to go to Chris Paul, but he has that playmaker in him, that kind of smooth game where he can like slow it down at the top of key and just, I don't know, there's a very relaxing feeling when you watch Jalen Brunson. It's kind of just everything's okay. He's going to make the right decision. I'm super excited to see him play because I think he could average 23, 24 with 8 assists and potentially be a starter for the guards in the All-Star game. If that happens, I wouldn't be shocked. So I'm super excited to see what Brunson can do. He's a hell of a player, man.
I think what he's going to bring, and I like how you brought it up. Shout out to producer Trace showing some love behind the scenes. Welcome him back on the show.
Hey,
he was getting active.
I love you and I miss you. I miss you.
Don't forget, this guy right
job.
here, he lost in a beer bong race last week to Abby. But he redeemed himself. He redeemed himself.
Let's drink some beers, Knicks Nation. Hey, Knicks Nation, let's cry.
Well, what I was going to say about Jalen Brunson is Dylan Rodriguez is saying you must have not watched Brunson. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Please explain. We'd like to put that up on screen and talk about it.
I've watched Jalen Brunson probably more than most people, I think, around. Because I've just been a fan of his game since Nova. I love the way, if there's like a point guard I would want to play with, I played basketball all my life growing up. I was mainly a 2 guard. Shit, if there's any point guard in the NBA I'd probably want to play with, he's on that top 5 short list. So, but Marsh, another super chat coming in.
Oh, from my guy came. Okay, I knew I was saying his name wrong. So it's Bell Ollie?
Bell Oli? Or
Bell Oli or Bell Ollie? And it's going to be so hard to figure this out. I think it's Bell Oli. Bell Oli. Who's saying it right? We'll do this. I'm going to say it's Bell Oli. Bell Oli. Bell Oli. Or what's the other way?
Bell Ollie.
Okay, who's saying it right?
Bell Ollie
or Marsh? I'm going Bell Oli. He's going Bell Ollie, right?
Yeah, I think.
Bell Oli, you're my guy, a real one. I'm an idiot. I can't say. He's saying.
Marsh. All right, Marsh, you got it.
Bell Oli.
Bell Oli.
Okay.
Bell Oli.
Be Bell Oli.
Be Bell Oli.
I need a ravioli. Be Bell Oli.
Be Bell Oli.
Oh, my God. All right. Love you, bro. I love you, bro. He's a real one. He watches New York Knicks now, and he watches New York Giants now. Oh, yeah. An official real one. Be Bell Oli. Oh, man. A lot of stuff has been happening. It's been a busy day at the Chat Sports Studios. And we were kind of debating this, me and my brother, the other night. He said, who is going to start at the 2 or the 3, at the wing, whatever you want to call it? Who's going to start alongside Brunson and Barrett pretty much in that backcourt? Is it going to be Fournier, the vet, the guy you're paying $18 million per year, set the Knicks single-season franchise record for most threes made in a season? Is it going to be Cam Reddish, the 6'8" wing? Silky smooth handle. Looks like he was made as a created player. He's the type of guy you made on 2K growing up. Or is it Quentin Grimes, the guy that probably is the best defender of these 3. The guy that is a true 3-and-D player. Fournier's clearly a better shooter and a better scorer and a better shot creator. But I think Grimes can be the guy on this list, Seeps, that could be most successful with the least amount of touches. And I think that's what you need in this starting 5 around Brunson and around Barrett and around Randall. You need a guy that's cool. like Quentin Grimes with matching up on the other team's number one every single night and taking 8 threes a night and maybe only 12 field goals.
Yeah. And plus, I mean, Cam Reddish, if you start him and he's not getting touches, I feel like he would start, complaining a little bit.
Exactly.
I feel like Grimes, like what you said, I feel 3 and D, if he's getting 8 shots a game, he'll make the most of it. I would still not rule out Fournier, though. I still feel like Fournier is
He's
more
a vet.
He's a sniper. I mean, he can catch fire still.
He can.
He can go win you a game just by him shooting the ball. Personally, I'll go Grimes. I think, as I'm looking at the comments right now, a ton of you guys would go Grimes, too. I would expect him to start. Also, I think Grimes, he seems like more of a Tibbs guy. I think that defensive intensity Grimes brings, it kind of matches Tibbs' energy. But, yeah, Fournier coming off the bench, though, Pudge nice, that would be kind of a spark.
I think that's the type of role where he could really excel, because if he's in the starting lineup, and we saw it last year, you kind of have to call plays for him, because if he's just on the court as a starter and he's not getting up a good number of shots, we know he's a liability on defense. So I feel like he has a negative rating on this team, whereas if he's coming off the bench and he's the focal point of the offense and you can create shot opportunities, he's the guy that could average 15 points off the bench and maybe be a guy that closes some games. Like if he's hot, we've seen it. Like against the Celtics, you can run your offense through Evan Fournier at times. It's just he shot like 38% from 3, Fournier, but it wasn't like a consistent 38% every night. It was like 70% this night, 10% this night, 60, and then 30. He was way too much like this. He needs to be smooth, like we are on New York Knicks now.
Off the bench, that's kind of not ideal. You would obviously want him to be consistent, but if you have a dude who can go out.
You want some pop. You want that pop ability.
Yeah.
And I think like what you said about Cam Reddish is true. He wants to start, but where on this team is the best opportunity for him? I think that's truly coming off the bench, right? Because look, I know a lot of people are like, if you put Cam at the 3, RJ gets to go back to the 2, his natural position. Cam's a scorer. He's a good defender. And all that is true in a box. But when you start on this team next to RJ and next to Brunson and next to Randall, you are clearly the 4th option. And I don't think a 4th option role in a lineup is best suited for Cam Reddish. I think he's a guy, kind of like what we said about Fournier, where if he came off the bench and he was a guy that had the offense somewhat run through him, where he was allowed to go ISO and allowed to push the pace and be more of a ball handler than a catch-and-shoot guy. That's where I think he's good. As a ball handler in the half court, he's athletic, he's good on the break, he can attack the basket. And I just think there's more of those opportunities off the bench for him.
Yeah, I agree with that. And plus, who knows? I mean, if you bring him off the bench for the first 2 months, he shows he's invested in team basketball and he's scoring like crazy, like he has the potential to. Maybe he could end up starting a couple games. Like maybe you could get creative with the lineups where one day it's Brunson, Reddish, Barrett, and then one day it's Brunson, Grimes, Barrett. Like I feel like you could maybe switch it up. But I agree. I think off the bench is where he belongs.
And you have like so much versatility to it, like you said. And we've seen Tom Thibodeau change his starting lineups in the playoffs before. But at the end of the day, I truly believe it should be Quentin Grimes for the fact that he is the best perimeter defender of these guys. And since we didn't trade for Donovan Mitchell, that means RJ Barrett is going to have a good workload on offense, right?
Yeah.
And if that's the case, you don't want him expending all of his energy on the defensive end. I think that if he is using so much of that energy on defense, he won't be able to have it on offense. It's hard to play bells to the whistle all 48 minutes on both sides of the court. Whereas if you have Quentin Grimes, then he could take some of that defensive burden off of a guy like Randall or off of a guy like Seatman. Why am I saying Seatman? Off of a guy like RJ Barrett.
I have a question I want to ask Knicks fans. Who would you rather see wear a Knicks uniform? Both these guys, I feel like, have a pathway to become a New York Knick eventually. Let me know. If you guys could pick one of these guys before we get into the live show, and before we get into Marsh, he's got some juicy stuff about Donovan Mitchell he's going to get into. Who would you guys rather have, Anthony Davis or Zion? I don't even know which one I would rather have right now.
Bunch of injury questions around both, right?
Yes. Very similar type of, I don't know. We'll see. Let's see what we got coming in here. A lot of ones,
Jason B says 1. Carl says 1. Pudge says 3. Punisher says 1. I Am Jules says 1. B. Lopez says Zion.
Injury boys.
B. Beloy says 1. He's younger. Marquise Robertson says both. Steven Vargas says 1 is injury prone, or 1 because Zion's injury prone.
Yeah.
LNYC says Zion. I think you go with Zion because he's younger, right? And whereas I still think Zion's ascension in this league is going like this. Whereas I think Anthony Davis might be like that. Like he might be on the tail end of his career. And what we saw from Zion in that one healthy season was ridiculous. Shot like 70% from the field, was playing like point center. His offensive package is truly remarkable. And I know if is a word that you probably shouldn't use all that much when you talk sports. But if he's able to stay healthy, the sky's truly the limit for Zion Williamson.
I agree. And plus, I think it'll be interesting. R.J. Barrett, Cam Reddish, Zion, all back on the same team.
The Dukies. You know they probably talked about that at Duke. Like, do you think there's a time where we could all three play on a team?
Well, 2 of them are already on a team. Big market.
I remember when they made the trade for Cam Reddish. We did the trade video on the channel that day. But the next day we did, are they getting the 3 Duke boys back together? I remember we did that video. That was a lot of fun.
That would be classic.
All righty. We got 240 people watching right now. Shout out to the real one. Shout out to everybody that has tapped in, listening to Marshall Green and Patrick Seatman chop it up about the New York Knicks. We're about to get into the latest news and rumors. The Knicks have made a signing. There are also major rumors and news out there about Carmelo Anthony. But with 240 watching and only 39 likes, it's company policy that we can't start the show. We got to get to 100 likes on the stream before we get the show started. That's not even a 50% hit rate, and I think we could do it. I got trust in you guys. If you haven't yet, hit that like button. Let's get to 100 likes. Let's see if we can do it in the next minute.
Clock.
Yeah, let's see if we can do it in the next minute. Let's get to 100 likes right now. We're 47 away. I think that's easily going to happen. Knicks Now, real ones, they always make it happen. Hit that like button. Let's get to 100 likes, and let's talk about Carmelo Anthony. Let's talk about the player the New York Knicks signed. Let's talk about what Donovan Mitchell had to say about the New York Knicks. He spoke on the New York Knicks and all of the rumors that were circulating, and what he said, I thought was pretty damn noteworthy. Start just with a generic L3, and then I'll push you to that. Did they get what does that DaQuan Jeffries one look like? Hit that like button. We're 23 likes away. Let's go. Hit the like button. Can you change that to Knicks? Let's go. 18 likes. 18 likes. Let's go. 242 people watching. Hit the like button. Let's get to 100 likes. I'm excited for today's show. Just fixing some stuff up behind the scenes real quick. Getting you guys the latest rumors on a Knicks roster move. They've also supposedly told Carmelo Anthony that they might not be that interested in him. And Donovan Mitchell. Wow. What he said I thought was pretty interesting. Literally the quote was, he knows more than what everybody else knows. What the hell does that mean, Seeps? What does that mean?
I have no idea, but I'm very excited to see your reaction to it. I'll tell you that, man.
It was incredible. Like, I'm over the Donovan Mitchell stuff. 9 likes away. Marvin Daniels is putting the shot clock. 8 likes away. 250 people watching. Just waiting on a couple things behind the scenes here. Fixing some stuff up. Hit that like button. Let's get to 100 likes. Everybody having a good day? Everybody having a good day. That's all that matters.
I'm having a great day.
I'm having a good day. I'm hungover as shit. I don't know. We do have a super chat menu, but we ran out of Fireball. And that's kind of a problem here on New York Knicks Now. I never thought that would happen. We ran out of Fireball, but we did. We're getting more tomorrow. We had game days here on Sunday, and it turns into a party and all the fireball got drink. But I was talked in to letting this happen. Someone here brought some tequila yesterday, and they dared me to drink it, and I said I'm not really trying to drink tequila today because I've been drinking tequila the past 6 days. I went on a bachelor trip. I've been celebrating birthdays for a couple friends. So this is the menu. Every super chat, as always, equals a shout out. We'll put you up on screen. If you have a question, we'll talk about it for 5-6 minutes. We'll try to go back and forth with you. We also have a new super chat ring of honor that I wanted to bring about because I wanted to show love to people that really support the show. But every $50, we'll do a tequila shot. But we're doing a $100 super chat list because we would have people like Jason B. who sent in $100 twice in a super chat. Reggie Jones has done it once. Big L has done it once. Jack has done it once. And my guy Charles Palmels have done it once. Every time you do it again, we add a new tally. And look, we can put as many people up on screen, but only 5 people have done it so far in New York Knicks Now history. If you want to be on part of the Ring of Honor, you know what you got to do. And if you want us to take some shots of tequila, I guess we could do that. Oh, my God. Charles Palmos. No. Okay, Charles, I'm going to be honest with you. Let us do this news cut, and then we'll do the tequila shots. I gotta be sober for the tequila shots. Charles Palmos, the GOAT. My guy said he was going to hook it up this week, and he answered the bell. I didn't doubt him for a second. But we have to do the tequila shots after the cut. I can't do the tequila shots before the cut. So in about 10, 11 minutes, Charles, I'm doing 2 and Seeps is doing 1.
I'm doing 2.
Okay.
Charles, because
Seeps will do 2. I'll do 2. We'll give you a bonus one.
Yeah. We gotta reel it in for the cut though.
I've been hungover as hell, and I'm not gonna lie, that just like picked me up a little bit.
Yeah,
I definitely feel like I just sobered up right there. Wow, Charles, that's gonna get you another tally on the board, my friend, and that is the largest super chat in New York Knicks Now history. Shout out to you, Charles, an official real one.
Wow. Charles, if you have a question coming out of the cut, though, ask it, and me and Marshall will chop it up for however long, man.
Charles, we're going to do a mailbag, a couple mailbags today. If you have a question, guaranteed to put it on the show. I appreciate you, bro. I'm going to DM you after the show. All right. No, we'll do the tequila shots in about 10 minutes. But let's get to the latest Knicks news and rumors because we do have a loaded show today. Some good info for you guys to stay up to date with. All righty. I'm like catching my breath. That was exciting. All righty. The whole office came in here. That was lit. I didn't even know they were watching. Everybody knows you got to watch Knicks Now on Wednesdays. If you don't, you're a phony and a jabroni. Let's get into the cut right now, though. Charles, salute. 3 to the dome. Let's ride. Yo, shout out to the real ones. You're watching New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green, as always. We have a big show to get to. Some news. The New York Knicks, they've made a roster move. There's also some smoke surrounding Carmelo Anthony and the New York Knicks. And unfortunately, we have to talk about Donovan Mitchell. I said I was done, but this is the face of a liar because Donovan Mitchell spoke about the New York Knicks with Brian Windhorst. Windhorst asked him about the trade to the Knicks. Did he think it was going to happen? What did he think about it all? We got quotes from D. Mitch. We'll break it all down on today's show, but this is why you subscribe. Hit that big red button. We're trying to get to 14,000 subs on the channel. Let's do it for Mace. Let's talk about Carmelo Anthony because the reports are the Knicks are not interested in signing Carmelo Anthony. Mark Berman put out a piece today, and he's pretty much said at one point the New York Knicks were interested in signing Carmelo Anthony, but at this point, it's not going to happen. And you can blame Danny Ainge for this, honestly, because I truly believe if the Knicks would have made a trade for Donovan Mitchell, they would have went out and signed Carmelo Anthony as a bench vet to bring some juice off the bench because they would have had some roster spots to fill. Because if you look at the roster right now, you already got Obi, you already got Julius, Cam Reddish, Quentin Grimes, Evan Fournier. There's no minutes for Carmelo Anthony right now. He's not coming to play off the bench or come off the bench and not play at all, be a bench warmer, but he would have been a significant piece, I think, if the Knicks did trade for Mitchell, but that's not reality. Reality is, sounds like Carmelo Anthony is not coming back to this Knicks this year. And I feel like he should get a job somewhere else because whatever you want to say about Carmelo, the fact that he put up these numbers last year is pretty damn incredible. 13.5 points per game, 4 rebounds, 44% from the deck, and 38% from downtown. Carmelo reinvented himself. He's not that ISO jab stepper anymore. He's not a guy that's a black hole on offense that you pass him the ball and you never see it back. He's a spot-up shooter, one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA, and he can still give you a bucket from all 3 levels of the hardwood. And what he did with the New York Knicks was honestly truly incredible. Did he get us to the finals? No. Did he probably under-deliver? Yes, but he also played in the same conference as this guy named LeBron James. That's a top 10 player, top 5 player, top 3 player to some people to ever touch a basketball. And if it wasn't for Amari Stoudemire getting hurt against the Indiana Pacers, I truly believe the Knicks win that series. And it's not Melo's fault. It was the moves that happened after that. Not trading for Kyle Lowry, not giving up Iman Shumpert to get that deal done, trading for Andrea Bargnani, not amnestying Amari Stoudemire. A lot of things. The Tyson Chandler trade. A lot of things went down. At the end of the day, I think it was a success for the Knicks, and I would love to see him end his career with the Knicks one day. But the deal not happening, the Mitchell deal not happening, of course, ended this dream. We talked about it. It's the fact of the matter is that he was going to come here if the New York Knicks traded for Donovan Mitchell. That was the plan all along. It didn't happen, and that's why we're here. And it sounds like the New York Knicks are no longer interested in signing Carmelo Anthony. Maybe next year could be the farewell tour for Melo in Madison Square Garden, because I need to hear it one more time. 3-point goal, Carmelo Anthony. I got to see 3 in the dome one more time in the orange and blue. Let's show Melo some love, though, because I feel like he gets a lot of hate for a lot of unknown reasons. People like to blame everything that happened on him, but all he did was go toe-to-toe with the media every single night, was held accountable, held himself accountable, and played his heart out for the Knicks, and was the best player a lot of Knicks fans have seen since Patrick Ewing. So show him some love in the comments. Type number 7. He deserves it. I think he should have his jersey retired here. I don't know if it'll happen, but let's show Melo some love. Type 7 in the comment section. And remember to hit that subscribe button, because here on New York Knicks Now, we're growing like crazy, and we're doing more content than ever. And with training camp around the corner, the NBA season coming up, we're going to continue to do videos every single day, sometimes multiple videos. We're going to be doing post-game videos. We may go live for the games and just do watch parties. We're going to have a lot of fun this season on the channel. So join the squad, hit that big red button. Let's get to 14,000 subs. The New York Knicks made a roster move. They have signed DaQuan Jeffries to a training camp contract. Jeffries, he played with the New York Knicks Summer League team this offseason, and he showed some skills that were honestly impressive. Has a long way to go to be an NBA rotational piece, but the raw tools are there. This guy's ability, his first step is explosive. He has great bounce off the ground. He can get off the ground quickly. He's like Zion in the fact that his ability to jump and elevate off the floor quickly and violently is truly in a different stratosphere than a lot of people in this league. He's got to be a better shooter, has to be a better ball handler, and get better everywhere else. But he has the athletic ability, and I like the fire he played with on defense. I think he may one day find a spot on the New York Knicks. I'm not sure if it's this year, though. But Brian Lewis, he gave a good breakdown of DaQuan Jeffries for the people that don't know him. He said the Knicks are signing Jeffries to an Exhibit 10 contract, which is essentially a training camp deal. The news was first reported by The Athletic and confirmed by the Post. The 25-year-old shooting guard who played for the Knicks Summer League team this year has played 47 NBA games over the past 3 seasons with Sacramento, Houston, and Memphis, starting 5 of those games. Last season, Jeffries inked a 10-day contract with the Grizzlies via the hardship exemption on January 1st, making 3 appearances and scoring 2 points after the 6'5", 230-pound Jeffries returned to the G League College Park Skyhawks, for whom he averaged 15.4 points and 2 rebounds per game. So he's going to be on an Exhibit 10 deal. He's going to be here trying to fight for a roster spot in training camp. And the Knicks still have 2 open roster spots. I don't expect the Knicks to go out and sign anybody that they're really expecting to give a lot of minutes to. If you look at the way Tom Thibodeau has kind of constructed his teams with the Knicks, he wants that 15th player to be a hype man and not really get minutes. Kind of like Ryan Arcidiacono this past year, or Theo Penson the year before that. He doesn't really want like a vet in that 15th spot, trying to fight for playing time. So expect these next 2 roster moves to be guys that have potential, can get better, good locker room guys, good culture guys. But I'll ask you, put your GM hat on. Who should the Knicks fill the 2 final roster spots with? Should they go out and sign a veteran like a Marcus Aldridge or Blake Griffin? Or should they go make a trade 1 player for 3 players? What should they do? Get creative. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments down below. Also, I want to give a shout out to the real ones because you guys have been showing up and showing out. Here at Chat Sports, every channel created a shirt, a t-shirt themed around their show. I came up with the real ones for Knicks Now, and we've sold the 2nd most shirts in the company. That's pretty damn awesome because we're not even in the top 10 of the biggest channels at the company. So we're doing something pretty good there. That means you guys are showing up and showing out and showing love. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that has gotten a shirt. If you want to be a real one and show some love, get your shirt today. Chatsports.com/realknicks. I'll put that link in the comments and description of the show. And if you get a shirt, when it comes in, put it on, take a picture, and we'll put you up on the show. Donovan Mitchell spoke to the media and Brian Windhorst about the New York Knicks. They did a sit-down interview on ESPN, and he asked him, what happened? What did this? What went on? He said, I thought it was New York. I'm not going to lie to you. Who doesn't want to be home? And he had some other stuff as well that we'll talk about in a second. But he thought it was going to happen. I thought it was going to happen. You thought it was going to happen. But I just think it's funny that I know we haven't been doing it on this channel because there's no reason to anymore. But every publication has talked more about the New York Knicks following this trade than both teams that have made it. It's the classic Knicks for clicks. But this quote by Donovan Mitchell kind of upset me a little bit. Brian Windhorst asked him, how close actually was it to you being a New York Knick and going home and playing in Madison Square Garden? Donovan Mitchell said, it was very close. I won't say more than that, but I know a little bit more than most. But definitely very close. That sounds like he was told it was done. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like they told him, if we trade you, we are going to trade you to the New York Knicks. I'm not going to lie. It hurt hearing this. It did. I thought it hurted hearing this because he was a player that wanted to come to the Knicks, a superstar. He is a superstar, and we didn't make it happen. I think it might have been the smart decision, but it just sucked. We've been star hunting for so long, and one finally wanted to be a Knick, and we didn't make it happen. This is the last time, I promise, unless he says some more off-the-wall shit, that we will talk about Donovan Mitchell. But since the dust is settled and our emotions are out of it, and we can view this through a clear eye, should the Knicks have traded for Donovan Mitchell? The last question we'll ask about him. I just want you guys to chime in because we're 2-3 weeks removed from the situation. We could think with a clear head. I want your honest opinions in the comment section right now because I value your guys' opinions. Knicks fans are the smartest fans in the world, and I want to hear what you got to say. Should the Knicks, you know what it took, should the Knicks have traded for Donovan Mitchell? Type Y for yes, type N for no. If you made it this far in the video, that means you are a real one, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for showing love. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later in the comments if you type real one, because I'll show you some love if you do. Let's ride. LNYC says no. Jet Life says yes. Pro Cannon Gaming says no. Dark Edge says no. D-Jar Rivers says no. Too small of a backcourt. Angel or Annie Grill. Annie Grill 1. Not with Barrett leaving. I know one says no. Ivan says yes. Big V says no. Nathaniel, my guy, says no. I think it's about 50-50, Seeps. What do you see in the chat?
I'm seeing about 50-50 too on my side.
You haven't got to talk to the people since.
Yeah,
let them know.
Yeah. We'll get to this first. And then I'll give my breakdown of them not trading for Mitchell. But shout out to Alan.
Alan, a real one, sending a $5 super chat. He says, Rose will regret not trading Rose and Randall as Tibbs will overplay them at the expenses of Obi, Cam, and Quickly. He can't help his stubbornness. Seeps, you're a Bulls fan, and you've watched Tom Thibodeau coach more games than we have as Knicks fans.
Yes.
What do you think about this?
He's been stubborn his whole life. I mean, it's just been that's been the word that's literally been connected to Tom Thibodeau is just stubborn. I mean, it's kind of his way or the highway type of coach. I don't know. Rose, I feel like Derrick Rose, his value, obviously I'm a Bulls fan. His value right now in the regular season is pretty damn low. But I do feel like he does have value in the postseason as a guy coming off the bench who has seen pretty much any defensive set that you could see for a guard in the NBA. I think he has a ton of postseason value. But then those guys, Obi, Cam, and Quickly, I don't think Tibbs has any reason to play Rhodes over those guys.
But he will.
Yes, he will. I mean, I would play Obi over Randall, like minutes-wise. I don't know. Randall's just so up and down for me right now.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that one year when the Knicks made the playoffs, he was fantastic.
Yeah, he was a top 10 MVP guy.
Yeah, but I don't know. I agree with you, Alan. I think if that was what held up the trade, definitely they will regret it. But I don't know.
I will say this, and this might sound a little outlandish, but we like to get a little hot takey on the channel.
Okay.
Tom Thibodeau is somewhat similar to Russell Westbrook. And what I mean by that is what makes him great is also his biggest Achilles heel. Okay. Westbrook is so good at being athletic and going 120 miles per hour and doing the incredible that's also what makes him bad. Whereas Tom Thibodeau relies on veterans, plays players 40 minutes, grinds them into the ground, and always has his best players on the court, which means more regular season wins. Yep. But it's also his Achilles heel in the fact that he doesn't really develop young players. He hasn't had the most success in the playoffs. And he's so stubborn like Russell Westbrook, even though he knows he has to change to get better, he hasn't done it.
Yeah. So I agree with mostly what you said. But I do think with a guy like Quentin Grimes and what Tibbs was able to do with Jimmy Butler is who I'm referring to.
That should be the goal.
That should be the goal. Tibbs at first said, Jimmy, you got to earn it defensively. You got to be an all-NBA defensive guy, and then we'll start developing your other parts of the game, kind of like what Kawhi went through in San Antonio at first. So I think maybe Tibbs is looking at Quentin Grimes as that next guy he could kind of develop, but that's the only guy I could really think of. Like, I mean, the Bulls have had a ton of young guys come in, and really Jimmy was the only one that popped.
Like, he hasn't given, and I know it's an unfortunate situation because, you know, Randall played better than expectations, and it has forced Obi to not play the minutes that he probably deserves and needs to continue to get better and mature and reach his potential. But I also feel like it was the same thing with Emmanuel Quickly. He had Alec Burks starting 60 games last year, and he wasn't going to get us anywhere, whereas Emmanuel Quickly, if we weren't going to go anywhere, play him and you could have upped his trade value, and you could have got him better. And Jack said, I don't give a shit what you're talking about. I'm going to send in a $50 super chat. Jack, seats back.
My God.
Show Pat some love in the chat. He's back. I missed him last week. He said, trade away Randall and Fournier and give minutes to the young guys. Otherwise, what was the point not trading for Donovan Mitchell?
That's a great point.
I 100% agree with you. If you're not going to trade these young guys, see, that's where I kind of think that this front office and Tibbs butts head. Because this front office, I think I said this when you weren't here. They value value. And what do I mean by that? They didn't want to trade Julius Randle when his season started to go down because they wanted to rehab his value. Because they don't want to make a trade where they feel like they don't get value. So they want to rehab his value to trade him because we've heard him. We're not going to dump him. We're not going to add picks just to get off him. They value value. Just like with Evan Fournier when he was playing bad in the middle of the season. They said, we're not going to trade him. We're going to try to rehabilitate his value. Okay. They've done that with multiple players now. And if you are going, that's the front office. That's not Tibbs. That's the front office. Just like they thought it was the deal for Cam Reddish, the value was too high to pass up on, even though their head coach said, I don't want to do the deal and I won't play him. So I feel like this right hand is of the front office, and they value, and they want everything to be a win. Whereas Tom Thibodeau doesn't give a shit about rebuilding. He wants to win now, and he's not about developing players. He wants win players that win now. And Mark Berman even said it. I don't know how credible he is, but he said it. He's more tapped in than we are, anybody watching the show. He said that Tom Thibodeau wanted the Donovan Mitchell trade to happen because the quote was, he thinks draft picks are like crapshoots, and he puts value into proven players. Thibodeau wants to go to the playoffs. He knows if they traded for Mitchell, they would have.
And it's also Tibbs knows if he doesn't make a playoff run, he's probably out the door. So that makes sense why he would want to hang on to guys like Randall and Rose this year because they probably give him a better chance to win just right now. But, Jack, I think he put it perfectly. I mean, I can't argue with this at all.
He's 100% right. If you are going to because this is what happened. The Knicks said, we're not giving up Grimes. And we're not going to give up Obi and another star. If you have so much value in those young players, you have to play them now, Jack. You are 100% right. You can't go by much further and just keep saying something and doing something else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At some point, your thoughts and your actions have to align. And I think somewhat there's kind of some headbutting in the front office between Tom Thibodeau and whoever is the main decision maker in this front office. Because there's a lot of people that have decision-making power, and it ain't just Leon Rose. The reports say he was never a part of the Donovan Mitchell trade negotiations. It was other guys, like Brogauer and the other guys that they hired from the Timberwolves. So sometimes when there's too many chefs in the kitchen, it's a problem.
I'll ask you this. You give me 8 guys on the Knicks. How it's constructed right now, you have to have an 8-man rotation.
Because that's what Tibbs will do.
That's what Tibbs will do. Starting 5, bench 3. No feelings in this. This is what, you would do.
I don't even think this roster has the versatility, though, to have 8. It has to be 9. Because look.
It has to be 9?
Because if your starters, which I think the starters will be, are Brunson, Barrett, Quentin Grimes, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson,
That's
right?
undisputed, pretty much.
I think that is, if you keep Quentin Grimes because you don't trade for Donovan Mitchell, you better frickin' start him.
Yes.
Then off the bench, you have to play Obi.
You have to.
You have to play Emmanuel quickly. Are you not going to play the $18 million Evan Fournier? If you're not, fucking trade him. Are you not going to play Derrick Rose? Are you not going to play Isaiah Hartenstein, who you're paying $8 million?
He's a great piece that
he
needs
is.
to get. He needs
That's
to
what I'm
be
saying.
in the
Like
rotation.
this team, the bench versatility isn't there. Whereas Quickly and Rose are point guards, but they'll play some 2. But they're not really 2 guards, right? And then you have Cam Reddish, and you have Evan Fournier, and you have Obi Toppin, and you have Jericho Sims, and you have Hartenstein. I don't know how you build an 8-man rotation, and that's kind of. I think the Knicks did that to Thibodeau on purpose. He has to go 9-10 deep this year. He has to.
See, that's why I feel like you have to get off Fournier. You have to trade
I think Fournier is the odd man out. It's either him or Reddish. It's one of them. One of them has to go. Because say you start Grimes, right? Mm-hmm. And your starting 5 again is Brunson, Grimes, Barrett, Randall, and Mitchell. You know Quickly's going to play, and you know Rose is going to play. You know Obi's going to play, and you know Hartenstein's going to play. Is he going to go 10 deep with Fournier and Reddish, or is he going to go 11 deep for both them to play? Like, one of those guys has to go.
And Tibbs is going to give his stars 40 minutes. Like, RJ is going to give 38.
Jara Rivers says 12-man rotation. Tom Thibodeau says I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
He's not doing that. And if he is, those guys are going to play 5 minutes, and what the hell is the point of that?
Yeah. So, Marsh, you've touched on this. I got this comment. Jack. You can read it. You've touched on this before.
That's why I think Tibbs will be moved exactly, because there's no reason not to play the young core. Exactly. There's too much respect mutually between Rose and Thibodeau, and it's to the point where they won't fire him. They're not going to fire him. If Tom Thibodeau is removed as the Knicks head coach, it's going to be because we are moving him to the front office like a Brad Stevens. I'm not saying Brad Stevens got fired, but it'll be a similar move.
Okay, that makes sense.
Alan with a $2 super chat, my guy. Alan, I appreciate you, brother. He said a real one. MG, that's it. MG, that's it. Are we building a team? Wrong coach.
He seems a little negative.
Is he saying we're building the team with the wrong coach?
I think.
Yeah, and I can see that because, look, we have a youth-driven roster, and that's not what Tom Thibodeau wants. Yeah. I've said this a couple times, and I don't think it'll be to the degree of how it sounds, but I think the situations are similar. I view this as Tom Thibodeau to the Knicks is what Mark Jackson was to the Warriors. Develop those young guys into defensive players. Teach them about playoff success. Then you move off of Thibodeau, and then you go find your Steve Kerr that can take you over the top. That's what I think eventually will happen. Not saying we're going to become a 73-9 win team. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying Thibodeau is going to get all these guys, and Thibodeau's got a ceiling. Mark Jackson had a ceiling. Steve Kerr, his ceiling is rings.
Hey, Marsh, we've been putting this off for a little bit, but it's time to pay your dues.
Jack, I owe 1 for Jack. I owe 3 for Palmels. These guys are going to kill me.
We'll shout him back out again.
Charles Palmel's coming in with a $150
right before the cut.
burger. Wow, I hope he's still watching. There he is in the chat. Yeah, Charles says no way he's doing 12-man rotation. Not a chance. Not a chance. All right.
Also, shout out to Jack, too, with the 50
Jack
earlier.
sends in a 50 burger. Jack says get to drinking, Mark.
Yeah.
I've literally been on a bender for 6 days straight. It's
I'm going to go grab my shot glass
brutal.
real quick.
Just the smell of tequila right now is kind of making me nauseous. Charles, this one's for you, my guy. I appreciate it. Gee, yeah. That ain't Fireball, I'll tell you that much. Yep, Jason B sounds like 7 days straight. Yep, there we are, Jason. There we are. Like when your friend calls you and says, hey, we're celebrating my birthday tonight. I've got a table or a section at blah, blah, blah. You can't say no. Like if you say no, you're a loser. You're a bad friend. And I had to say yes because he called me and it was his birthday. And now I'm here. I woke up today hungover as hell. D. Jara says, but it's possible. It is possible to do a 12-man rotation, but Tom Thibodeau's not doing that. He's never done that in his career. He's got too much ego and pride, because if he does that, that's not him doing that. That's the front office pushing that on him. You know what I'm saying? That's pushing him out there. Let me check something real quick. Let's he is. All right. Shout out to my guy Seeps. I took 1 for Charles. I owe 2 more for Charles and then 1 for Jack.
It's not Fireball. Can confirm it's not Fireball.
Big L in the chat, my guy. He says, yo, what up? It's my cooking night, so I'm late. Charles is a real one. He knocked me off temporarily, but I'll be back. He did. He knocked you off, but I don't doubt Big L whatsoever.
Cheers.
Big L, my guy, I hope you're doing good. Caesar says there too. I think Jason Williams would be a great coach, to be honest. Jason Williams is in white chocolate. Does he coach basketball?
I have no idea, but
All right.
here, shout out to Charles and Jack, my guys.
What's wrong with change? Doing a shot of rum for birthday guy. That's mad love. There's nothing wrong with change, but old dogs don't learn new tricks. And at this point, Tom Thibodeau is an old-ass dog. All right. For Charles. You get that chest burn with the tequila, unlike the fireball. This will not be a permanent thing, fellas. I'm going to let you know. This might be the only night we drink tequila on the show.
This is going to be a special.
All right. I'm going to have to wait a little bit on the other two. Remember, Marshall, his new name is Tom Staborno. Staborno? Steven, yeah, if I had lime and salt, that'd be so awesome, but that's kind of soft. Like,
I mean, it would make such a difference.
The place I was at last night was sick. So they gave you shots in ice. It was like an ice shot glass, just made of ice. So
Really?
a frozen shot glass, just ice. And you take the shot, and then there's like a bell, like a huge-ass bell, like 10 feet away from you, and then you try to throw your ice shot and hit the bell. If you hit
Does it like shatter?
It'll shatter.
Really?
I went 3 for 4. Pretty upset I missed
That's
one of
kinda
them.
sick.
It was dope. It's like ice, so it's slippery as hell, and it slips out of your hand.
Oh, yeah.
It was a cool spot. I kind of went off on a tangent there, but we got a mailbag coming up.
Yes, we do.
It was a cool place. You take the shot, then throw it. When I missed, I was upset. They laughed at me. We're going to do a mailbag coming up. You
We gotta
guys
get
know
some
the drill.
questions.
We have no questions right now.
We got to get some questions in there. We have limited questions.
I want to answer questions from real ones, like Robert and Caesar and Big L and Steven and Charles and Carl and Boxing Fan and Robert and Dejara. Ask a question in the comment section like Steven Vargas just did. Use hashtag Knicks in the comments. I want to hit the Jack one in the mailbag, 'cause that's a good one for the mailbag.
I agree.
And we'll do that. The Knicks signed DaQuan Jeffries. A lot of people, I guess, are tuning in late to the show. They signed DaQuan Jeffries. He was on the team for the summer league. It's a training camp deal. He's going to have an opportunity in training camp to compete for the top 15. They did not sign him to the max. Boxing Fan 189. That's hilarious.
Yeah, can confirm that is not true.
Not true. Alrighty. Hashtag Knicks in the comments. Or look, we won't do the show. If you guys don't ask
Get those
questions,
in there.
we won't do the show. I want to chop it up with you guys. I want to answer your questions. If you even have a thought that you want me to talk about, you can use hashtag Knicks in the comment section.
Yeah.
Shout out to Caesar for getting a question in.
Remember, we could talk Jalen Brunson, Harvesstein. I always forget how to pronounce his name.
Isaiah Hartenstein. Or if
Hartenstein,
you're
he's a
Mark
beast.
Berman, Hartenstein.
Hartenstein.
Harshenstein.
Harshenstein.
He didn't know his name, and he was doing a live hit on TV, and he was like, yeah, this stretch big from the Clippers that they signed. Isaiah Harshenstein. I was like, God damn, he's not been paying attention this offseason.
Not at all. Yeah, but get those questions in there, guys. Anything you guys want. Nathaniel, just make sure it's hashtag, Nathaniel's a real one. Just make sure it's hashtag Knicks Connected. That is a good question, though. Probably cue that up on the general.
Yeah. You could make a one that just has like Knicks, no hashtag, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That would probably filter some good ones as well. Big L says, I'm ready for the season. Look, we got 300 people watching and 170 likes. If you're ready for the NBA season, I want you to like the video. Let's get the likes up. 168, it's not even 169. Those are rookie numbers. Let's go. Hit the like button. You enjoy what we're doing. You enjoy Knicks Now. You enjoy the back and forth with me and Seeps and you guys. A true two-way conversation. Hit that thumbs up icon and let's ride.
Go.
All right, I'm going to take one more before. I'm going to clear Charles out. Charles,
Charles, you're done.
You're done after this. And then I got to take one for Jack after. That one's after the mailbag. I already think, you know what I'm saying.
Oh, you guys, Marsh was telling me this whole day. He was like, you know what? I'm not drinking. I've been on a 6-day bender.
I wasn't going to drink. But someone brought in tequila and, like, made me do it. So.
Yeah. And plus,
they're forcing me to drink at work. That's got to be an HR violation. We don't have HR, so. All right.
Great
Charles.
questions coming in here, these guys. Appreciate it. Steven wants a shot of Patron.
No. You know, like when you, Jesus. Wow. That was embarrassing. Like when you take a shot and your body like rejects you from swallowing it and it stays in your mouth. It sounds so sus.
No,
it's like it literally makes you want to throw up.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into a mailbag. Jason B asking about Wiggins. Jack's getting a question in. All righty. Hashtag Knicks. And remember, if you want to get a question on the show, hashtag Knicks, but you can skip the line if you super chat. We put all the super chats to the top of the show. Because when you type hashtag Knicks, it goes into a server for Seeps to put it on the show. And there's going to be a lot in there. And if you super chat, you get to skip them, guaranteed, on the show. Remember, all $50 super chats, they do equal a tequila shot. That's what we're doing today. The office ran out of Fireball because NFL Sunday was wild. So someone brought in tequila. But let's do it. Let's get into a Knicks rumors mailbag right now. Welcome into New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. We're about to get into a mailbag where I answered your guys' questions, but I want to do something new on the channel. Before we get into it, we've doubled our subscriber count within the past 3 months. So I want to do this. If you are subscribed to New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports, I want you to type me in the comment section down below. If you're a sub and you're a real one, type me in the comment section right now. First question coming in from my guy, Nathaniel Alston. He says, how about Kenny Atkinson for head coach? I'm just not really ready to be talking about new head coaches. I understand the allure or why the love for Kenny Atkinson, right? What he did with those young Nets teams, he was a good coach, and now he's on the bench. But he turned down a head coaching job to stay with the Golden State Warriors this offseason. I like Kenny Atkinson. He's shown the ability to be able to develop young players. I'm just not ready to talk about a new head coach yet. I'm giving Tibbs this whole year to prove it or not. If it doesn't go bad, I would be down for Atkinson, though, to be in the hiring pool and at least get an interview going in if we do move on from Tom Thibodeau. Steven Vargas, just how committed are the Knicks to R.J. Barrett?
Wow.
4 years and $107 million committed to him. They also gave him the poison pill contract, which means it's almost essentially impossible to trade him for a full calendar year. So they're pretty damn committed to him. Obviously, they did include him in a couple of trade proposals for Donovan Mitchell. So I don't say that they're joined at the hip, but I think that they're committed to R.J. Barrett. They clearly like him. What's not to like about him, right? 22 years old. He's done some things only people like Luka and LeBron have. He's got a long way to go to be an elite player, but he's a damn good basketball player for a guy who just finished an NBA season at the age of 21. If I was the Knicks, I would make R.J. Barrett the face of my franchise. I would get players on my team that make R.J. better. I hope that's the direction this team is going. Lorenzo in the Benzo. How many roster spots left? So after the Knicks signed DaQuan Jeffries to that training camp deal, they have 2 roster spots left. But I don't envision them going out and signing some of the higher profile names out there right now. They're not going to go get Carmelo. It's actually reported that they're not interested in Carmelo Anthony anymore. They're not going to go get Blake Griffin or LaMarcus Aldridge or Rajon Rondo. They're going to get young players that are cool with not playing any minutes, that have potential, and are good locker room guys like Ryan Archie Diacono or Theo Penson. Guys like that who I think they fill the final 2 roster spots with on this New York Knicks team. I'll ask you, though. That's just my opinion, but I'm down to always have a two-way conversation because when I go down and read the comments section every day when I get off of work, I love seeing you guys tell me stuff about the Knicks that I don't know. You guys are smart as hell, and I value your opinion. So let me know what you would do. If you were the GM of this team, how would you fill those final 2 roster spots? Sound off down below. Atlantic Lion, my brother, what up, fam? How would we feel about a potential Bradley Beal trade, and would he accept a trade to New York? So I think Bradley Beal has a no-trade clause. He did just sign that lucrative deal. But could he have just signed the deal? And I'm not saying I've heard anything, just pure speculation here. And we've seen some players do it, right? You signed the deal to secure the bag because no other team in the NBA could have paid him more than the Washington Wizards. But maybe next year, demand a trade, force a trade. In reality, I don't think that happens. I think he's going to retire a Washington Wizard. He's had the chances to leave, and he's continued to stay. He clearly doesn't value winning in this league, and not every player does. He likes living where he lives, obviously. Probably has a family there. Probably got family friends there, and some people hate moving. And he's making like almost $300 million. So I don't blame him. Go get your bag, but I'm a competitor. I want to win. I don't think Bradley Beal does. But I wouldn't even trade for him, to be honest. The time to trade for Bradley Beal was a couple of years ago, in my opinion. I think he's kind of like Anthony Davis in the sense that he's on like his career trajectory is on the way down instead of the way up, but still a damn good basketball player. Just, he doesn't really fit the timeline, in my opinion, to be honest. JP, when does the hot seat start for Tibbs? A month into the season, if the Knicks have a bad record, right? Like, that's how it's going to be. Knicks fans are ruthless. He was on the hot seat after they lost to the Atlanta Hawks in the playoffs as a 4 seed. So I do think if the Knicks get off to a really slow start this season, let's say 30 games in the NBA season, they're 10-20. Like, if they're that bad, is that 30 games? Yeah, 10-20 in 30 games. If they're 10 games under 500, the seat's going to warm up. Because if you're bad this year, right, it means you're going to have a high draft pick. You could potentially have 4 draft picks coming up. So do you want Tom Thibodeau being the guy that's trying to lead a rebuild with youth? I don't think that's the guy you want involved. They brought Tom Thibodeau in to compete now. What do the Knicks want to do? They want to build through the youth, and they want to compete right now. The hardest thing to do in sports. I don't agree with it, but that's what they want to do. And if they're bad this year, they're really going with the youth movement. And I could see him moving Tibbs to the front office. I don't think they ever fire him. 90s Knicks, what up, fool? He said, I do see Zion being a Knick in the future. A lot of motivation here. He wants to be a Knick. There were rumors pre-draft that he wanted to be a Knick. He was supposedly upset, rumors, on NBA draft lottery night when the New York Knicks did not win the lottery and the New Orleans Pelicans did. And honestly, he will become available at some point. Probably not this year, maybe next year, maybe the year after. I'd love to have Zion as a Knick, but I'm worried as hell about his body. I need to see him play another full season before I'm willing to push my chips into the table and give up everything we've been building since Leon Rose is here to go make a move for Zion. Another player that's been tied to the New York Knicks before is Anthony Davis. When he requested that trade from the New Orleans Pelicans, he had 2 teams on his preferred destinations. It was the Lakers and it was the Knicks. And anytime Anthony Davis rumors comes up, there's always that quote that says, an anonymous executive believes the New York Knicks would love Anthony Davis and it would be a team that is willing to overpay. So because that question was Zion, and we know that there's always been rumors about AD, who would you rather have on the New York Knicks? Type 3 for AD or 1 for Zion Williamson. Big L, who are your top 3 replacement coaches to replace Tibbs? To be honest, I haven't even thought that far. I'm just not worried about that right now, to be honest. I'm worried more about this roster. I think Tibbs has this whole season, and that's why I'm not really worried about it. I I haven't really put too much thought into it. Big L, to be honest with you. I think Johnny Bryant's on my short list. Why am I drawing a blank? Quinn Snyder. I think Quinn Snyder would be cool. Jay Wright. Like, can you get him? Jay Wright's always been a guy I would love the Knicks to get. Those are 3 guys. So who did I say? Jay Wright, Johnny Bryant, and I said another name too. I don't know what I said. But yeah, that other guy's name I said. I'd look at him. Michael 10, the tequila shots are hidden. We need to showcase Randall and ship him out by All-Star break. Get full value by then. If Julius is showcased and ups his trade value, Quinn Snyder. Quinn Snyder was the one I said. Thanks, guys. Thank you. The real one's always helping me out. If Julius Randle plays his trade value up and there's a trade you deem as valuable, I would be in all camps to do it. But if Julius Randle gets back to that player he was in 2021, I don't want to keep him, to be honest. I'm interested to see how Julius Randle looks this year with a real point guard and Jalen Brunson. I think that pick and roll, pick and pop could be deadly. Brunson's one of the most efficient point guard pick and roll players in the NBA. I think you're going to see more of that type of offense this year, more pick and rolls, space the court out 5 wide with Hartenstein and Randle, and let Randle and Brunson operate. I think that's going to be a good success for the Knicks this year. Look, I'd love to trade Randle, but if he becomes a good player again like he was, let's keep him, right? You don't just trade him. If it came down to it, who would be your trade target if they became available at the same time? SGA, Wiggins, or Ball? LaMelo Ball? LaMelo, easily. I think LaMelo has the potential to be an MVP in this league. I think he's that good. I think he could average 28 points, 12 assists, and 7 rebounds one day. I think LaMelo Ball is that type of player, and it's really not all that close to me. I like Wiggins, but I think he's a 3 on a championship team. I think LaMelo could be a 1 one day. I think he's that freaking good. I like SGA, but the fact I think SGA is a 30% three-point shooter last year. Do I think that's who he is as a player? No, but I don't think he's an elite three-point shooter, and you got to make threes in this league. If you could get LaMelo and RJ, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, Jim. But yeah, I go with LaMelo, no doubt about it. Subscribe to New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports, because we put out videos every single day on the latest Knicks news and rumors. When shit happens, we go live. We put out videos every day. We put out more content than any other Knicks YouTube channel out there. So subscribe, let's ride, hit that big red button. B-Dub, do you see Jericho Sims as a 12-8 with proper minutes? Yeah, if Jericho Sims played 20 minutes, 25 minutes, I think he could be a 10-10 guy. I think the scoring is what probably wouldn't be as high because he doesn't create offense. He's a dunker spot guy. But I do see potential in a guy like Jericho Sims. What we saw him do in the Summer League, I don't want to be the guy that overreacts Summer League, but just the things he did mechanically. He was pushing the ball up the court as a ball handler. His energy, his athleticism. This dude can scratch his Adam's apple on the rim. It's incredible. He's a violent jumper. He can protect the rim. He's a little undersized. He reminds me of like an off-brand version of Dwight Howard. And if you think that's stupid, Dwight Howard is one of the best defensive players of all time. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. What did I say? Pause. Yes. Pause. Last question. Beat up. Yes, I like Jericho Sims. The tequila's working. Dean Seegers. Our season went down with Rose and Randall having to handle. Our season, that rhymes. Our season went down with Rose and Randall having to handle. With legit point guards, that changes. Just add Cam to the starters and go from there. That was kind of a bar, not going to lie. I just don't think Cam Reddish should be a starter on this team. I think he's better coming off the bench. There's a lot of people in the studio right now, and I can't focus. With a legit point guard, I think Jalen Brunson will make Julius Randle better. I'm going to be honest. Is this just a statement or a question? Our season went down with Rose and Randall having to handle. If you're a real one and you made it this far in the show, drop a real one in the comments section. Where's the fireball? The tequila's too much. If you made it this far in the video, drop a real one down below. Jeremy Chuggs was in the studio making me laugh. You had a chopped cheese yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Was it good?
Dude, flame, bro. A little bit of get the ketchup, get the mayo, a little mix it together.
Salt, pepper.
Salt and pepper in that piece.
Fried onions?
I personally go grilled onions.
Yeah, like grill fry, pan fry.
Yeah.
No battered onions. I don't want onion rings on my chopped cheese. Oh, I don't ask what's in my cup, but it's helping me out. I'll tell you that much.
Smells like lighter fluid.
Yeah. We're lit.
Oh shit, we got some real ones in the.
There's some real ones in the chat, as always. Charles dropped a 150 piece. Jack dropped the 50 bomb. Yeah. Let's pull up the real $100, the Ring of Honor. That's what we're gonna call it. Put it up on the screen. Because we're gonna have to update this now. So we used to do on the channel the highest super chats. Big L sent 115, Reggie Jones sent 110, Jason B sent 101, Charles and Jack sent 100. That was pre-show today. But I wanted to show more love because Jason B has sent in $100 twice. And I feel like that list wasn't showing the full love. So now we have a $100 super chat list tracker. Jason B's dropped 2 of them. Reggie Jones, Big Al, and Jack, they've dropped 1. Charles Pommels now has 2. Andy owns the highest super chat in channel history.
Charles in charge.
Charles is in charge. Shout out to Charles. I don't even know if he's watching anymore, but you want to be on this list? You gotta drop a $100 super chat.
JP, new subscriber, love the channel. Hey, it's Marsh talking the Knicks. What's not to love, baby?
Let's ride. MSG, he's a real one. Charles is still here. I can't believe I doubted
A
him.
Nets channel could never.
Imagine watching Nets content on YouTube. You probably... I'm not going to say that. Let's ride. We have a Nets fan in here, actually. Sam, come up on screen. Nets fan, come on. He doesn't want to get embarrassed. Nets. All right. D. Moore says boring. Well, if you can find a more entertaining Knicks channel, let's party. What's up? Yes. All right, we do have another mailbag. Caesar says, I don't know if you didn't get my question. Remember, I don't have the opportunity. Seeps, get up on screen so you can take some blame here. Because I saw Jason B. Jason B asked a fire question that I for sure thought you were going to put up on there. But it wasn't Jason B. Caesar says, tell him to kick rocks, MG. I don't get to choose which questions come up on screen. I don't you see me, my hands are up here. I don't get to just push a question up on screen. You got to use hashtag Knicks. And if you want to guarantee a spot, that Seeps. Let them know. That's the only way to guarantee it. Because you are in a battlefield trying to get questions, producing.
I'm in the trenches during mailbags. I'm seeing comments coming left and right, and I got to filter them out. Caesar, that's on me. If you ask a question right now, I'll guarantee you I will get it on the next mailbag. But if you guys super chat, automatically on. I see the super chats pretty easily. I mean, we have our own little filter for super chats. So Caesar, that's on me. I'll get to your question after our next mailbag.
All super chats are guaranteed to get on. Because it's just, we got to show up to people that show up.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to take one more shot for Jack because I owe him one shot. Remember, every $50 super chat will equal a tequila shot. If you want me to do it, I will. But you don't have to. But it makes it more fun. All right.
Get those questions in there, though, because we're a little light right now.
We're light on questions. I need more questions.
Yeah, will you guys fire up Marsh? Whatever you guys want to pick Marsh's brain, anything.
Can you find that Jason B one? Because it was about Wiggins. It was a good one. All right. Jack, this one's for you, my guy. I appreciate you. Wow, that was rough.
Did he use hashtag Knicks?
I swear he did. Let me see. Let me go look.
Jason B, I'm diving right now to find your question.
He says Marsh needs Fireball back. This is looking rough already.
Yes, he does.
Oh my God, is it that bad? It can't be that bad, right? Let me see if I can find it. Maybe my eyes were playing tricks on me.
Is it JP? Oh, whoa. Marsh, I think I found the question.
Oh! Oh my God.
Oh, Jason B. I feel so bad right now. I feel bad that I didn't find your question.
Get a
And then he
pizza
had
with
to
this
come
money.
here.
You know
a
what's
pizza.
funny? The first time we did Knicks Live, me and Seeps were so drunk we went and got pizza. It wasn't the New Yorker
It was
pizza, but
Grimaldi's.
it was a Grimaldi's.
It was Grimaldi's.
That's the closest thing we had to New York pizza in Dallas is freaking Grimaldi's.
Pretty damn good, though.
It is good, but like, does anyone in New York actually go that lives in New York goes? Isn't the OG in New York the OG Grimaldi's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, it's not the same because they're not using New York water.
You got to use the water.
I think the best,
Gotta use
The water makes the dough go crazy.
best authentic New York pizza, Sbarro.
Wow. Trace, you got a beer bong in you? All right, because Jason B just sent in a $30 super chat, and we're gonna start the mailbag, Jason, with this question.
Minutes. Triple Life says I need to take a shot. Come on, pour me one up, Marsh.
You owe a shot?
I owe a shot. Oh, and
Astro, my
Another-
brother,
Oh.
in the chat.
Hey.
let's go.
We'll
It's a
answer that
party.
now, 'cause
Another-
we've
look at
already-
that. Two great questions.
We've already talked so much
I know,
about
it's-
Tibbs,
I know.
but
We're gonna be talking more Tibbs. Shout out to you, Astro. You guys think Tibbs will be fired if the Knicks don't make the playoffs? We'll get into that during the mailbag.
if they,
Cheers.
I think the only way that he gets fired, Seeps, and I think the only way he gets fired is if they don't even make the play-in. That's the only
Yeah.
way. Because it would be growth from this past year. It would be growth. He didn't
Yeah.
make the playoffs.
I mean, if they make the play-in and don't make the playoffs, I bet you he's fired.
The seat gets hot as hell.
I agreed. Shout out to you, Astro. And then Jason B, we have a little surprise for you. We have Trace, who did a great job filling in last week. He's here to rip a beer bong.
Jason B, this is for you. We got a crew out there ready to drink.
I love you. Wait, also, fuck the Nets.
Tyler Jones.
Hey! Let's go, Trace.
No damaged laptops? Perfect.
Nothing like a beer. Jason B said he bet on you last week, Trace. Well, was it when he won or when he lost? Or if you bet on him every time, he came out a winner. Was it 2-1 you or 1-1? Yeah, you were drunk. Robert says 3 times, still no answer.
Robert, you got to use hashtag Knicks. I see your question up there. How about Sims at PF, Obi, small forward? So get that same question. I'll actually mark it, but just use hashtag Knicks like you see.
Yeah, you're
Will
just
Lattimore.
putting the number sign. You got to actually do hashtag Knicks. Yeah, this floor is sticky as hell because Trace drinks like an amateur. Pause. This suit is black. Pause not. Do y'all like have y'all ever seen the movie Borat? If you do, grade Borat. A, B, C, D, or F. Grade the movie Borat. Because we were talking about it in the office earlier. I think it's more fun to talk in Borat voices than the movie is actually funny. No, the movie is funny, but like quoting it is funny. I have a chair. I am the king of the castle.
King of the castle. King of the castle.
King of the castle. My suit is black. Pause not.
Did you watch the new Borat?
No, I haven't seen Borat 2.
Dude, it's hilarious.
New Haven. Pepe's?
You're talking about Borat.
What does that mean? Oh.
Apparently,
Really? I never had pizza in Connecticut. I'll have to make that happen. All righty. Let's get into a mailbag. If you have a question, use hashtag Knicks. We'll get to this mailbag. And then probably going to sign off unless this thing just turns into a party, which it tends to do. So we might be live for a couple hours at this point. But hey, you guys choose the show. We let the fans control the show. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Will, Marshall at chatsports.com. Real simple. Marshall at chatsports.com. Send it to me, Will. I hope is he still in here? Was that just now? There he is.
That was just now.
Will, Marshall at chatsports.com.
There you go, Robert. I see you, Robert. Let's go.
And also, Big L, I got something coming for you, Big L, if you're still watching. Don't think I forgot. I'm going to make it happen. Don't worry. All right, we got a mailbag coming up. I want people to get a question in. Robert asked a question. We're going to get to Astral's question as well. I know, Big L, I got you. Don't worry. I didn't forget. It's been the bachelor party has set me back, man. I need to be an adult. I need to be an adult and grow up. All right? Let's talk about the latest Knicks news and rumors, though. You guys have questions. Big L, if you have a question, don't be afraid to ask it. We'll love hearing you talk about the Knicks. Let's do it, though. Let's get into a mailbag. Hashtag Knicks. All super chats skip the line and are guaranteed to get into the cut. So if you want to be in the video, hashtag Knicks or guarantee it by super chatting. Welcome into New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. Give me a follow over on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. Everybody that follows me and shares this video in a tweet, I'll follow you back. So just go down below the video, click the share button, tweet it out, tag me in the video, follow me, and I'll follow you back. Let's ride. Help me get to 2,000 followers. We're almost there. Jason B., hashtag Knicks. What about Wiggins? This trade looks better potentially than Mitchell due to a much lower cost. This helps consolidate assets. And he said, get pizza with the money. Jason B., thank you for being the definition of a real one. You always have been. I appreciate you. I think the Wiggins idea is interesting. It's been floated around before, but Big Nick Energy on Twitter, shout out to those guys. They do great work. They pretty much were the guys that got the scoop on the RJ Barrett contract extension a day before it happened, that he either was going to get extended or be traded. They had that and they put it out there. And then they said that the name that they have heard from someone inside the organization is that the Knicks are interested in Andrew Wiggins. And it's going to cost a lot, I feel like, to get Andrew Wiggins. I don't think nearly as much as a guy like Donovan Mitchell. But it comes down to, can the Warriors go so deep into the luxury tax that they can pay Wiggins, they can pay Poole, they can re-sign Klay Thompson, they can re-sign Draymond Green, who said he wants the max. It's just hard to envision they have the money to sign all of those guys, and Wiggins may have to be the sacrificial lamb. What would they want back from Wiggins? I think they would want Quentin Grimes. I think they'd want probably a first-round pick, maybe one of your protected picks that aren't your own, that aren't really all that valuable, the ones we got from the number 11 pick this year. And then you got to get to like $30 million in salary cap space. Maybe you could work out a sign and trade, though, next offseason when he's a free agent. This guy in the playoffs, he took his game to another level, man. 16.5 points per game, 7.5 rebounds, 47% from the field. His three-point percentage dropped a little bit in the playoffs and as well as it did in the NBA Finals. But the thing that I love about Wiggins here, he became an elite defender. And even though he couldn't hit the three-point shot consistently, I think he shot 39% in the regular season. Even though the percentage fell off, that didn't deteriorate or put him in a spot where he couldn't affect the game anymore. Like, he didn't let his bad shot take him out of the game. He drove to the cup. He became one of the best rebounding forwards in the NBA and an elite defender. So just because the shot wasn't falling, he found other ways to be an effective player and make plays for the Warriors. I'd love to trade for Andrew Wiggins, but I don't think it's going to be before this year. If it happens, I think it would be a sign and trade going into the 2023 NBA season. Appreciate you, Jason B. $10 super chat from my guy Astral. He says, do you guys think Tibbs will be fired if the Knicks don't make the playoffs this season? It's definitely possible, right? If they don't make the play-in, I think that definitely becomes more of a possibility. If you have a bad record, though, like if you don't make the play-in, you're going to have a top 5, top 6, 7 pick, right? Do you want Tom Thibodeau leading the full-on youth movement at that point? Because you could have up to 4 first-round picks next year. And if you keep all of them and you don't make a trade, I don't know if Tom Thibodeau is the guy I want leading that rebuild. I don't know if they fire Tom Thibodeau ever. I've kind of been saying this. I think if they move on from Thibodeau, he'll be elevated into the front office. I think it's that type of move. Too much mutual respect between Leon and Tibbs. I don't know if they'll fire him, but I could see them promoting him to the front office, similar to a Brad Stevens type of move. But look, if Thibodeau gets fired, rumors come out, news comes out, we're going to get you guys a video as soon as possible because that's what we do here on the channel. We react to news. We react to the rumors. We circle up everything out there around the New York Knicks, and I give you my take on it. So subscribe for daily videos on the latest Knicks news and rumors. Tricky Nicky, my brother, he said, do you think that Barrett should be our number 1 option this season? If so, how many points would he average? I want Jalen Brunson to be the number 1 option, to be honest with you. And I'd be cool with a 1A, 1B with Brunson and Barrett. I think Barrett at worst should be the number 2 option. I think Randall needs to move down to number 3 in the pecking order. I have concerns about if Randall is down for that mentally and down to sacrifice for himself for the betterment of the team. I think Jalen Brunson, if he was the number 1, if he led the Knicks in shots taken this year, I think he could average 25 points per game, and I really don't think that's that much of a hot take. He's one of the best point guards efficiently and statistically in the pick and roll, and he's one of the best ISO guards in the NBA. He's a walking bucket. But I want RJ Barrett to be the face of the team going forward. He's 22. Jalen Brunson's 26. Can you imagine RJ in 4 years? You got to hope he's an all-star by that point. I would build around RJ, and I think Brunson is a good point guard to have alongside RJ. Robert, what up, bro? Sims at power forward, Obi at small forward, RJ at shooting guard. Not enough shooting. I know Obi shot better at 3 down the stretch of the season, but he's not a good shooter yet. And Sims doesn't stretch the floor at all. So if you have Sims at power forward, Mitchell Robinson at center, and Obi Toppin on the court, your spacing on offense is going to be really bad. There's not going to be room for a guy like RJ or Jalen Brunson to operate. So I don't really like all those 3 guys playing together unless it's Sims at center, Obi at power forward. That, I think, makes more sense than having Sims at power forward and a center on the court. Too many people that can't score outside of the dunker spot. JP, over under Sims or Deuce getting 5 minutes. I think over for Sims, it's not 5 minutes. It's the games played that I think will be more significant. Because if you play in only 24 games, but you average 8 minutes per night, that's worse than other stuff. So I think it's more so about the games played. I think Sims will probably get more minutes than Deuce. For the first time in my whole life, the New York Knicks are deep at the point guard spot with Brunson, Quickly, and Derrick Rose. It's going to be tough for McBride to get minutes. I wouldn't be surprised if he plays a little bit in the G League again this year. Big L, how many players would you play from the team? How many? Play, like how deep would the rotation be? It's got to be Jalen. Is the Knicks roster court in there? See if it is. It's got to be. I think the starting 5 is going to be Brunson, and we'll pop it up on screen. Shout out to Patrick Seatman doing great work here. I think this is what your projected roster and rotation is going to look like. Good question by Big Al. I think Jalen Brunson's your 1. I think Quentin Grimes is your 2. RJ Barrett's your 3. Julius is your 4. And Mitchell Robinson's your 5. And then, so that's 5 people right there. Quickly has to get minutes. That's 6. Rose has to get minutes. That's 7. Toppin has to get minutes. That's 8. Isaiah Hartenstein has to get minutes. That's 9. And I didn't even name Reddish or Fournier. You have to go 10 deep. I think either Reddish or Fournier has to be moved going into the season. Because if you keep Reddish and you keep Fournier, you're going to play Fournier because he is getting paid $18 million per year. And that means Reddish is not going to get minutes. You traded a first-round pick for him, and he's going to be a restricted free agent going into the offseason. Knicks have a logjam at the bench. I think a move has to come before the season. I would find a way to move off of Evan Fournier if it was me. Marquise, what up? Marshall Green, do you see the Knicks being the first seed in the East? And also, do you see the New York Knicks making it to the finals? Also, I've been to this subscribed to the channel since day one. Shout out to you, Marquise. You're a real one. I do not see the Knicks being the best team in the East this year, and I do not see them getting to the finals. Knicks are a couple pieces away from being an NBA Finals contender. Even if they traded for Donovan Mitchell, I don't think they would have been that type of team. They're a far way away from that. But they have a good foundation right now with RJ and Brunson and Mitchell Robinson, Quentin Grimes, Emmanuel Quickley. A good foundation of young players that has, I'm hopeful. I think this team can be a contender one day. They're trending in that direction for sure. Last question from Tavon Robinson. Would you prefer Andrew Wiggins over Julius Randle? 100 times out of 100. One guy is a team player and selfless. I don't want to say Julius Randle is a me guy and selfish, but that's the type of basketball that he played this past year. He took possessions off on defense. He didn't chase rebounds. He didn't close out. He didn't do the dirty work plays. Wiggins is a team guy. He does whatever it takes to win. He averaged like 24 points per game with the T-Wolves, and they sucked. Then he went to the Warriors and said, let me be a 3-and-D guy that can get a bucket when I have to and push the pace. One guy will do whatever it takes for the team to win. One guy wants to win his way. I do think, though, there is some hope this year for Julius Randle. Because when you look at the stats from last year when Derrick Rose was on the court compared to when Derrick Rose was not on the court, the numbers were way better. And why does that matter? One, because D. Rose is going to be back this year, hopefully. And two, the Knicks have a real point guard now in Jalen Brunson. Julius Randle, when he had a point guard on the court, and Derrick Rose, he averaged 43% from the field and 36% from three. Solid numbers. When he didn't have a point guard, he was one of the least efficient players in basketball, shooting 39% from the floor and 7% from three. So when you bring in a guy like Jalen Brunson, who in theory should make it easier for a guy like Julius Randle on the court, you're hoping Randle, I would be cool with Randle going from 20 points per game to 16, 15 points per game if that meant the efficiency goes from 40% from the field to 48% from the field. I'm cool with less volume if it means more efficiency. That's what Julius Randle has to do this year. I think it could happen, but look, Julius Randle is a wild card. I don't know what's going to happen. Make sure you're subscribed because we're going to keep you up to date on everything surrounding the New York Knicks throughout the 2022 NBA season. That was a good question. Well, not really, because I take Wiggins all the time. I kind of went on a little tangent there. But I think that Randle can have a good season. But he has to accept a smaller role. Right, Seeps? Like, he can't go into this year thinking that he's the engine to the offense. And you have to ISO Randle. And he has to be your fourth quarter offense where it's the ISO in the mid-range and the jab steps and all the BS. Let Brunson control the offense and cook from the spots that you're good at. Get back to being a bulldozer and an attacker instead of an ISO shot creator like a broke-ass Melo.
Well, that's my favorite stat you have is the Randle stats with Melo in comparison to not with D. Rose. I think that's pretty telling. That's why also what he could do with Brunson.
That's what gives me hope. Like
yeah.
If we could trade Randle, I'd do it. But I'm not attaching an asset and I'm not dumping him for nothing. But if I value a trade or deem a trade as valuable, I would do it. But if that trade was on the table, they would have freaking made the trade already. Yeah. The trade is not there. So I'm curious to see how he plays with a true point guard.
Also, these are some questions I was curious before we were getting on here.
Battle of the point guards in the East.
Yeah, battle of the point guards in the East. I wanted to ask you guys this. Darius Garland, Jalen Brunson. I think two very just competent point guards that are probably not top 5 point guards in the league, but in that 5 to 10 range. Let me know down below. Let's see what the chat's feeling. Type 10 for Garland, type 11 for Brunson. I'm expecting to see a little more Jalen Brunson in here because he is a New York Knick. But, oh, wow, Carl's coming here saying Garland, no contest. I am a big Garland guy. I think Garland's extremely underrated, especially he's only 22 years old, same draft class as RJ Barrett. Pretty sure he was taken 4th, correct, Mark?
Yeah, 4th.
He's 4th in that draft class. So
Zion, Jaw, RJ, and then Darius Garland. That's a loaded top 4,
That
to
is
be
a
honest.
loaded
Like, we
top
might
4.
look back in 10 years and say, that's one of the better NBA drafts in a long time.
No, really.
If Zion is able to stay healthy, him, Ja, soon to be MVP RJ, right? And
RJ Barrett.
Darius Garland. I would. Okay. I think Garland, obviously, ceiling is higher. But if I had to win one basketball game tomorrow,
100%.
and it was like in the playoffs, a pressure cooker environment, give me Brunson for one game, but I think Garland is a better player for the next 10 years type thing.
I would agree with you. I think Garland's got unreal potential, but I mean Brunson's just such.
Brunson's been there, done that. He's already dropped 42 in the playoffs without Luka by his side and got a win in the playoffs. Like he's done that. Garland can do that. Like Garland has the higher potential, though. I think Garland could be a baby Dame. Like that's how good I think he can be.
No, he's great. But here's another one for you guys. Donovan Mitchell going to Cleveland. Anthony Edwards, I was talking to Marsh yesterday. We were talking about surprise MVP guys. I threw out Anthony Edwards. I think these two are very comparable in the way they play. Anthony Edwards or Donovan Mitchell. Next 5 years, I think it's Anthony Edwards. But just for next year, who would you guys rather have? Anthony Edwards or Donovan Mitchell? I would go Anthony Edwards. I don't know, but Donovan Mitchell.
Anthony Edwards, I think, is going to be super special.
He's going to be unreal.
He is. He's going to be special in this league, man. But for this upcoming season, I'd probably rather have Mitchell. I think Mitchell has a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Utah pretty much told him, we don't think you're good enough to build around us. And realistically, he was traded to a team that was not on his preferred destinations list. Sure, he's saying now he's happy and all, but shit, what is he supposed to say, Tyler? That I'm pissed off I got traded to the Cavs? No. It's his agent. He's trying to get a new contract. He wants to win basketball games. He's being a good teammate. I think I would have Mitchell for next season, but I think Edwards.
Oh no, man! I think even next year, I think I'd probably just take Edwards.
It's close. It's close. No doubt about it. I think Edwards can be like an MVP one day, though.
He reminds me of a lot of D Wade. I see a lot of.
He's bigger and stronger
and
too.
He can shoot better than D Wade, which is crazy. But
like if you like, I watched a couple of League Pass games last year with the Timberwolves. Some games he'll look like the best player in the NBA.
Oh no,
he just has to be more consistent.
And what can he not do? I feel like he's one of those guys in the league. He has everything in his bag.
Oh yeah, dude. Honestly, like sometimes he attacks the rim like MJ.
It's scary. No, I would be terrified if I saw Anthony Edwards coming down the lane.
He's an athletic freak.
Yeah, no, he's great.
So I gotta leave here, but I did want to say hi to my Knicks friends.
Yes.
I mean, even though I'm not a Knicks fan, I feel like we're family now. You know?
When you do boots on New York Knicks now, it makes you a
love
real
you.
one. They love. Do y'all want TJ to do a boot?
I'm about to leave, but I'll chug this beer.
$100 super chat before you leave. You got to do a boot. 100.
100.
Put 5 minutes on the clock.
All right.
I'm serious. I'm about to go eat dinner.
Let's ruin this kid's night. Let's have him do a boot before he goes. If we get a $100 super chat in the next 5 minutes, Tyler Jones will do a boot. That's 3 beers in a boot. He's got to chug it, and I'll do 2 shots of tequila. That's a good trade offer. I don't know if someone's going to answer the bell. I'd love for it to happen, because when TJ gets on Knicks Now, it's always a party.
That is true.
Right?
That's true, and I want a party. I feel better. Look, they told me to kick the hangover, you got to start drinking.
That's true.
And I did, and I feel better. I do. But I'm probably going to feel like shit tomorrow.
My guy Rich.
Rich Rob loves
Oh,
TJ.
Rich
Rich
Rob.
Rob is the definition of a real one.
I like him better than Rich Rod.
Oh! Yes! Charles Palmos! Get
I
the boot!
just
Get
got
the
it.
boot!
What the
Get
hell?
the boot! Das
No
boot!
way.
Das boot!
You
Das
gotta be kidding
boot!
me.
Das
Charles.
boot! I didn't think it was gonna happen. I didn't think
thought
it
it
was
had no
gonna
chance.
happen.
No
Charles
chance.
Palmos!
Oh, Oh,
That's
my
another
God.
tally for
Wow.
Charles Palmos on the list.
I have that effect on people, I guess.
You do. You do. Holy
Is it
cow.
every $100 in the 5 minutes? No.
Just one. I do have to go home here.
Go get the
What?
boot. Let's go.
I'll get the boot, but
Wow.
you guys have to wash it. I literally have to.
I will
Yes,
wash
that's
it.
fine.
I will wash
That's
it.
fine.
Okay.
Charles, show Charles some love in the chat.
Yes,
Today's
damn
MVP. There were some mishaps last week, and he told you, I am coming to party next week.
Yes.
And he freaking brought the energy today.
Yes, he did. I
Charles-
feel like we need to do something.
The
I feel
boot.
like, yeah, but like something else for Charles today.
Charles, honestly, you're right. We do. Charles, do you have a shirt?
Yeah.
Do you have a real one shirt?
Or Charles, do you want to ask a question on next week's show to the chat?
Yeah.
Like, do you want us to create a graphic for you?
Yeah. We owe Charles. We owe
Yeah.
Charles.
Charles, get in the comments, whatever you want. Obviously, the boot's coming, but if you want anything else, if you want some graphics on the show,
So, one thing that I'm going to do, I haven't decided if I'm going to go live for Knicks games or live for post games. I'm doing one of them. And both are going to include a post game show. It's either I'm live for the games and post game. Won't be able to do every game because it's just not logistically possible, honestly, to do 82 games. Charles says he doesn't have a shirt. We could make that happen if that's what you want. But I want like the real ones. Like everyone that's still in the chat right now, because we've been live for 2 hours at this point. Like the 150 people that are still left, y'all are the people. Big L. I've been having to talk to the bosses, and I'm making it happen. But let's groom the cat. Groom the cat.
groom the cat.
I will make it happen.
wow, Charles is out of nowhere with that
I'm
one.
trying. Don't tell the bosses. I'm trying to get them to pay for it. But if they don't, I will pay for it. That's how much y'all mean to me. I'm trying to help both of us out. Just let me work a little bit. Remember, I just came back from a bachelor trip. I told you I've been drunk for 6 days. Let me regroup a little bit. Charles says he'll take a shirt. Charles, I'll DM you on Twitter after
get your
this.
shirt.
But Big L, trust me, the plan is in motion, and I think we're getting close. I've been kind of nagging him a little bit.
Yeah.
My dad told me growing up, the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
It's great.
It's a great line.
It's a great line.
It's a great line.
Yeah.
But Charles, MVP of the show.
Easy.
No, Big L, that's not going to happen.
You're not
that's,
getting your
no,
own one.
I will tell my boss to not ship it to you. It's that simple. I won't let it happen.
Rich Rob says kid shirts. Shout out to Flea. That reminds me.
Is Flea watching?
Yeah.
If so, Big L, I made a promise to you. I'm a man of my word. I will not let that happen. Unless you want 2 shirts, you can do that. But I am going to buy you a shirt. You guys are too real. But this is what I was meaning to say. That I'm going to be doing post-game shows for Knicks. And I'm going to have like a call-in feature where you guys can call in on the show and we chop it up verbally about the game. But I need the real ones, like JP and Rich Rob and Big L and Charles Palmels and Will Latimer and the Octaron and Carl and Fabian and Worldwide Della and
Jack.
Big L and Jack and all the real ones that watch the show. Y'all have to call in because I value your guys' opinions. And if you don't call in, there's no point of doing the show. But the show is going to take a pause right here. Let's go full screen.
Yeah.
Big L says, I think you should do certain games. That's kind of what I was thinking. I don't think, logistically, I can't be live for 82 games, to be honest. I got to have a life. But,
We like gotta hang out and drink.
exactly, how am I going to I can't just be the guy that gets drunk on YouTube all the time. But, Jonesy, thank you for being a real one, as always. Charles, MVP of the show. Do the boot and let's ride. What's the time to beat?
Let's get under 20.
Under 20. I think you're shooting too low. As you can't do 20.
You don't think I can do 20?
I don't think he can do 20. Can Tyler do the beer boot in 20 seconds or less? Type O for over. Type U for under.
My personal record is 16.
He's done it in 16, so he says. Tricky Nicky says 19 seconds. Over or under 20? Get it in the comments section.
You know, I share with Knicks now, with all the Knickerbockers out there, an appreciation for Ennis Camp. This boot is going to be for Ennis.
And his freedom?
Ennis Freedom.
For freedom. All right. Ask King Casper says over. Jason B says under. JP said he's stalling. No, we're letting you guys get your vote. Charles Palmels, the guy who super chatted for you to do it, he says 17 seconds. You got to do that for him.
I'm going to try. Yeah,
Do I need to move my laptop?
Maybe.
All righty. Jonesy, let's make it happen.
Let's do this for Ennis Freedom.
For Ennis Freedom.
Knicks and Thunder legend.
When he goes, I'll press start.
Spam TJ in the chat.
Spam TJ in the no spillage.
No
Abraham is
spillage.
like
Okay, hold on.
right.
Warm up a little bit.
Warm up. Get that throat ready. Pause.
Whoa.
He's getting the shoulders loose.
Oh, the shoulders.
The shoulders are loose.
Come on.
TJ, 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 TJ. Here we go.
Let's go, Tyler.
Hold on.
Go. Chug. Chug. Chug.
A little delayed
chug,
on the start.
Chug.
Chug, chug, chug.
Chug. Come on.
Let's go. I think he's got
Oh,
it.
he's got that.
I think he's gonna.
Nailing it. Oh, my God. He did not. Under 15.
What's the time? Yes!
Yeah! Let's go!
Record!
The record! The record! Knicks! Go New York! Go New York! Go! Go New York! Go New York! Go! He did it! 14 seconds! 14!
Freedom!
For Ennis Freedom! For Ennis Freedom! For Ennis! He did it. Charles giving you the flex emoji. Let's ride. Oh my God. Go enjoy your dinner. What are you getting? Taco Bell?
Think outside the box.
Why do you have reservations at Taco Bell?
It's on my way home.
He said, I got to get out of here. I got to go to dinner. What are you eating? Taco Bell. You don't got to go to dinner to go to Taco Bell. Holy shit. That was hilarious.
Freedom.
Freedom. For Ennis Freedom. Holy shit.
Oh.
Yeah, JP said that's not dinner. Yeah. This dude said he had to leave to get to dinner. And he frickin's going to Taco Bell. What a loser. Good stuff, Tej.
Yeah. Shout out to Tyler, though. That was a hell of a boot.
That was one of the more impressive boots I've ever seen.
That was filled up to the
You
brim.
know it's a good boot when the foam is still left on
Call me
it.
a loser after what I did for you? Wow.
For saying you had to
Going
go
to
to
Taco
dinner
Bell.
and it was Taco Bell. I thought you had like a fancy steak reservation.
Somebody's got to
I gotta go to dinner.
I have an 8 o'clock meeting. I gotta grab dinner before I go.
That makes more sense. Love you, TJ. Yes, it's tough love, but I do.
Oh,
Wow,
my God.
my
that
heart
was
beats
that
so
was
fast.
hilarious. That was one of the funnier moments on Knicks Live, I must say.
Honestly, it was.
That
Yeah,
was
JP, I
hilarious.
definitely thought like steak. I gotta go to dinner. All right, well, shit, he's probably got a nice reservation. Sushi, steak, like a restaurant. This dude said
Yeah.
taco smell. I'm dead. All right, I owe 2 shots because I said if it came in, I'd take 2 shots. Big L says, "Yo, check my list of games. Let me know what you think." Did you send it?
Did you comment it?
Did you email it to me? Big L, I probably emailed it to me. That's how I got in contact with him. If you did, I will. Give me a sec.
Yeah, wow. Well, this is all credit to Charles. So,
He
Charles.
said in the comments. I don't see a list of
in the
games
comments?
in the
Where can
comments.
I find it?
I only see you say, I think you should do certain games. And then I see you comment TJ, and then Chug, and then you got it,
I'm not seeing it.
and then laugh my ass off. I don't know. Did I miss it? Did it go through?
No, I haven't seen it either.
I haven't seen it. It might be YouTube. Charles, can't believe we're doing this.
Hell yeah. Oh.
I don't see it.
Yeah, Big O, I don't think it pulled through. I'm not seeing it on my end either.
TJ is a wild ball. Wow.
He nailed that, man.
14 seconds. That was good.
Very good.
The exact time was 14.57. I'll screenshot that. I don't see it.
I'm not seeing it either.
That's disappointing. But yeah, I'm only going to do select games. Like, if they do really, really well, if you guys are enjoying them and there's a lot of people watching and we're having a lot of fun, I'll do more games. I'm just curious of, like, how they're going to do, to be honest.
I feel like the big time games, like the standalone TNT, ESPN night games, I feel like those do pretty well. But I don't know, you guys are in the chat. You guys can let me know. I feel like the post games could hit. Like, I feel like just that instant reaction where you guys can come in here and get Marsh's reaction to the games. I feel like that would be and then because then Marsh can get your guys' real reaction to the game after.
Yeah, like if we went live after games, would you guys tune in?
Yeah, let us know.
Type Y for yes, type N for no. If we did live post-game shows on the channel, would you guys tune in? Let me know what you think, what you would do.
Appreciate you, Charles.
JP says yes. Okay, JP, at least we got one person. That makes it worth it, to be honest.
Also, then I feel like the call-in segment after the game would be
awesome.
awesome.
If you guys got to call in, I feel like that'd be pretty cool. Like, that's what I would want. Jason B says after the game, yes. Big Blue says yes. David says yes. Jean says yes. Ask King Casper says yes. Nathaniel says yes. Rich Rob, I knew you were there because you're a real one. JP says definitely the home opener. We're definitely going to do game 1 of the season. We'll definitely do the home opener.
Here, I got Big L's.
Big L stuff. Okay. Ask King says especially for games I couldn't watch. Charles says yes. JP says you guys are better than ESPN sometimes.
All the time.
All the time. That nice. Thank you though. I appreciate
So
that.
here's Big L's list of games. He's got the Hawk, PA, Philly, I'm assuming. Philly, Atlanta, Nets, Celtics, Heat, Lakers, Bucks, Cavs, Bulls, Hornets. It's a pretty good list. Yeah, Warriors would be a good one.
Warriors.
I'm trying to think of another. The Bucks maybe would be in it. Oh, he's got the Bucks.
Hawks are on there.
Hawks.
Clippers.
Clippers. I
Clippers
feel like
this year with Kawhi and Paul George.
For me, I feel like Hawks and Nets have to be 1 and 2.
Hawks, Nets, Celtics, Heat. Those are guaranteed.
And the Sixers probably too.
Sixers. Cavs. Now that
Cavs
Donovan
would be a
Mitchell's on
great
that
one.
team.
Yeah.
Like we'll know when to do them. When it's a big game, we'll know.
Yeah.
Big L, great list. Definitely going to keep that in mind.
And plus the NBA season kind of dictates what the big games are as the season goes on. Like, yeah, Grizzlies. Grizzlies would be another good one.
There.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Alrighty.
Jari Rivers, what's up? Still here. Shout out for the real ones. Still here. Shout out to you.
Shot for the real ones. I'm dead.
Shot for the. Might have to turn on the shot clock.
Like it's easy to give out free shots for Fireball, not for tequila. I feel like I've sobered up a little bit maybe, but I was definitely. We did like 3 tequila shots in a quick minute.
Yeah.
World Wide Web, Della says yes, sir. All right, so we'll think about it. We're going to do something. We'll either be live for the games and post-game shows or just post-game shows. Yeah. We'll start with the preseason. That's for sure. I'm going to do something for game 1 of the preseason. Maybe that's a watch party because, like, it's more of a chill game. You don't have to be locked into the action, and it's excitement. Like, preseason basketball game 1 is fun. Alrighty. Unless we want to stay live, we're probably going to head on out of here. Big L!
Oh, my God.
Said make it 2 for my real ones.
Fine. You guys have no idea, Marsh. Marsh is feeling it right now, Big L. Appreciate the love, though. Seriously. You're the man. You're the man.
He shows up every single
week.
Oh, my gosh. Here we go.
Right.
Big L, you missed it. Or maybe you didn't, but we ran out of Fireball this weekend. And
we did.
So someone brought tequila, and Now we're doing tequila shots.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
let's crush them.
Let's crush them.
Shout out to you, Big L. Always appreciate the support. You've been,
Big L is a real one.
you know what? Honestly, to the guys, like Big L, Carl's in here every week. Charles, obviously, Jack. Like, you guys are the reason Knicks Live is a thing every week. Like, we wouldn't be doing this every week. Like, we were super busy today. Like, we could easily just kind of put that off, but because of you guys and because of the energy you guys bring and just obviously the support you guys showed, it's all credit to you guys, so.
Big L for being a GOAT.
I'm going to pour up mine.
Jesus.
Yeah, Tricky Nicky, he's definitely feeling it a little bit.
I didn't even know what day it was when I woke up because they've all just been merged. I took a flight on Thursday, went out Thursday night, went out Friday night, went out Saturday night, flew back from Phoenix to Dallas at 6 a.m.,
Oh.
got home at about 10:30, went straight to work, covered the Giants game, was live for 4 hours, got drunk as hell on the Giants game. That was Sunday night. Monday night, I relaxed. I didn't do anything. And then last night, my buddy hit me up and was like, hey, I got a section downtown at a club with 6 bottles of tequila. You want to come out? Do I? Does a bear shit in the woods? You can't. I was dead in the water. I needed rest. But when your homie hits you up and it's like, bro, you got to pull up tonight, Seeps, you have to go.
You have to go. Especially if you said it was his birthday, too.
Yeah, it was his birthday, celebrating his birthday. It was.
You're not going to say no to a good time.
No, I'm a fun guy.
Ooh.
Carl always showing love to Seeps. I love it.
Hold on, Carl. I'll put that on screen. Yeah, he says, Seeps, would you take Randall for Williams, and would the Bulls do it? I mean, Patrick Williams, I think he's got some pretty high potential. He's kind of like a hidden gem in the NBA right now, just because I don't really think the national media has kind of gotten on to, or have found out about him yet. I wouldn't do it, and I know the Bulls probably wouldn't. Actually, I don't know if the Bulls would say no, because I'm not the biggest Vooch guy, Vucevic, our center. So, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't do it just because I want to see what Patrick Williams can kind of turn into. Kind of the way you guys feel about, like, RJ, Quentin Grimes, and all that. That's kind of the way I feel about Patrick Williams. But, yeah, I probably wouldn't, but, I mean, I'm sure the Bulls would consider it.
Put me full screen. So my friend made a video of us going out last night. This was the type of time we were on. Just wait. You'll see me in a second. Not me, but you'll know. You'll know.
Oh,
That's me. That's me. You saw that?
That's electric.
Just bottle to the head. That dark tequila, too. Whew.
What's the place called?
Bitter Ends.
Bitter Ends? Okay.
It was a cool spot.
Yeah.
It was a cool shot. Spot, not shot. Abraham Leon says, is it $10 per shot? No, it's not. We'd be dead because we're drinking tequila. But Big L, like, he's a rewards member, so we slashed the prices for him. Big L's a rewards member.
Big L makes the rules. He's already up.
If we had Fireball, we'd do $10 shots. We ran out of Fireball on the weekend because of the NFL games. Boston said they're getting some for Sunday. But we had tequila. Someone brought it in. It's $50 a tequila shot. But we'll do this, Seeps. We'll do this. We are going to be live. We'll do this.
Half off shot clock?
Half off shot clock, and then we're done. I can't do any more after that. I can't. In the next 2 minutes, every $25 super chat equals a tequila shot. Next 2 minutes. We'll do that. If none come in.
2 minutes.
And if you have a question to ask it about the Knicks. If none come in, we're going to have to sign off. We've already been live for over 2 hours and 30 minutes. So, next 2 minutes, every $25 super chat that comes in, we'll make it happen. We'll do some discounts for you, Abraham.
Yeah.
Abraham Leon will do it for you.
Big L says he's having Grey Goose and cranberry in my Giants mug, cooking stewed chicken for the fam.
I need some stewed chicken.
Love you guys. Hey, Big L, I'm not going to lie.
We love you.
If that could be my life in 10 years, where I'm sitting and I got my Grey Goose and cranberry and I'm cooking some stewed chicken for my family, I aspire to be that.
That's goals.
Yeah, that is goals, Big L. Damn, that's awesome.
That's goals.
Shout out to the Giants, though. I'm sure there's a lot of Giants in there.
1-0. Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I drafted Saquon in the second round. I love that man, Saquon. He's fantastic.
I don't know if I wish there was a way. It would be tough to do it. If we could put the call of the touchdown I had, the Saquon 2-point on here, I'd have to find a video and it'd take too much time. But the call, Abraham said swish. $25 super chat from Abraham.
Let's go.
That's one shot at tequila. We got 20 more seconds on the shot clock. Every $25 super chat that comes in, we'll do a tequila shot. We only got 15 more seconds.
Wow. I'll take one for you too, Abraham. We'll go a little slicing the prices all
Slice
over.
the prices.
Yeah.
If that's the last one, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, we'll end it strong.
We'll end it strong, but you can always do it, but with not.
Crossed over 400 total tonight.
That's a good night.
That's a very good night. Shout out to you guys, man. Marsh and I, we were a little, we're always tampering our expectations a little bit coming in the Knicks live. The Donovan Mitchell stuff ending, we're always kind of seeing where the fan base will be, but you guys show up every single week, and it's freaking awesome, man. I'm coming for Charles in the future. I'm saving my moment, says Big L. I feel like Big L is a big game guy. He's a big moment guy. He's waiting on it. Charles is laughing.
No, y'all can't do this to me. Y'all are going to kill me. Oh, Big L said I'm coming for him. Are we going to have a super chat off? Charles said, yeah, we'll see about that.
Yeah, Charles took the top spot after today.
You know how I'm hungover? I'm eating Lay's potato chips just to get some salt in me and try to retain some water.
Yeah, Big L is a big game player. He's he shows up in the fourth quarter. That's his mojo.
Big L says we will see. Oh my God, I'm nervous.
Oh yeah. Oh, Will Latmer just sent his pic. If you want to throw that in photo before we head out of here.
Where did you send it, bro?
Did you email it or did you send it to him?
He was email?
I think he was email.
Okay. Give me a second.
Yeah, we'll show you some love real quick. Yeah. Wow. You guys have been fantastic today. I mean, this is something Marsh and I look forward to every single week. Highlight of our week. We're busy with a bunch of stuff, but coming on here, it's pretty relaxing. And you guys
Big
have
L said
scared.
You should be.
Yeah.
I'm nervous.
We might. Yeah.
I'm nervous. Holy shit.
Damn.
All right. I'm going into my email. Give us a second. We'll pop it up on screen. Will Latimer, a freaking real one.
Been a real one.
A1 since day one. Get play one. Hey, that's heat. That's heat.
You got it?
I got it. I'm about to put it up on show.
Ooh. I'm excited to see this, Will. Big L, you'll be having your Real One t-shirt coming soon, too. Same with Charles. We'll make it happen. Hell of a stream, though, guys.
Today was a good stream.
Good stream.
All right. Give us a second. Working behind the scenes.
Yeah. We're working over here. You guys get to see a Real One Will in about 20 seconds rocking the Real One t-shirt. Big Blue says you guys are friggin' awesome. Great show as always. Big Blue, you're friggin' awesome, man.
Friggin'.
Come on.
I got to get another one on there. Someone sent it to me. Give me a sec.
Yeah, great show. Great show. Yeah, how about those Donovan Mitchell comments, man? He's just...
He wanted to be a Knicks so bad.
I know. And honestly, it's just, I feel like just the media is, like, I mean, Marsh says it all the time, Knicks for clicks. It's so true.
Let me know if it's in
Big
here.
L says, I'll just get one for the wife and take a picture with her for you guys.
Family
Real
Knicks
one.
Now t-shirts. Rich Rob, you'd be joining an elite club.
Yeah,
Rich Rob has one for him and his wife. That's
Yeah.
next level. Should be in there.
Yeah, we'll get this pulled up soon.
Is it not working?
You got the link. It's in the description. Just put it to photo left.
Oh, shit.
Move it over, column. It should be good. You guys get to see the behind the scenes.
Yeah, sometimes our Wi-Fi blows.
Yeah, Big L. The shirts are taking a little bit to get shipped out too. So
Yeah, thanks for the economy for that.
yeah. Yeah, he saw the Rich Rob pick. He says a real one. Yeah, Rich Rob is a real one. Yeah, well, don't worry. We're getting it pulled up right now.
Still no?
MG got his beer goggles on. Yes, he does. He's seeing.
Should be good.
He's seeing different types of links.
Is it not in there? Hey! Will, a real one. Let's freaking go.
know
Look
what?
at the background.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the
Knicks.
Yankees, Knicks, Giants.
I hope you're subbed to the Giants channel, youtube.com/NYGiantsTV. Just type in, if you're a Giants fan, go to Giants Now Chat Sports. Just YouTube Giants Now Chat Sports. Subscribe. That's my channel as well.
Shout out to you, Will. Look at and the Knicks hat. I swear to God, every Knicks fan has that
Yes,
hat.
everyone has that
Everybody's
hat.
got that hat. It's a sweet hat. I love it. True New Yorker.
A real New Yorker, huh?
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
My guy, my freaking guy. Alrighty.
Yeah.
I'm going to take that shot for Abraham. And then we got to get out of here.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Been at work.
We're gonna shout out to Nick. He's a New Yorker right here.
He is.
popping
He's
in.
a real
He's
New
from-
Yorker.
He's from Rochester.
Rochester, New York.
Rochester,
not
New York.
the same, but it counts.
He was
But-
working.
He's a freaking Heat fan.
Oh, we
on
gotta
the
let
screen.
him. Yeah,
Get
over
on the
there. Get over
screen.
there.
I need the story of how that happens.
Yeah, we'll put you up there.
Let him know. So
Yeah.
tell him, give him the rundown.
All right, sorry. I was late to the NBA game, so I was really a player guy first before teams. And the player that caught my eye, you guys talked about him earlier, comparing him to Anthony Edwards. I was a big Dwayne Wade guy, so I stuck with the Heat after he left, even though we don't talk about those Bulls or Cavs years. Those didn't exist. So that's why I'm a Heat fan. D-Wade, shout out him.
D-Wade. He chose the wrong team. It should have been the Knicks, even though he's got to see a couple NBA finals. If you want to type F Nick for being a Miami Heat fan in the chat, go ahead. It's all fun and games, though.
Yeah.
Abraham, this one's for you, my guy.
The camera's broken.
Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Alrighty. We're going to sign off. It's time. It's closing time. Na, 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 na. I forgot the words after that. Those are the
all I
only
know.
words I
It's
know.
closing
But
time.
every time you're out at the bar at like 2 a.m., it's closing time. And then I don't know the rest. Alrighty, guys. Another successful stream.
Yep.
You guys are real ones as always. And my Knicks Big L, I cannot wait for that, my brother.
I'm so excited for that, Big L.
Abraham, all the people that recently in the chat.
Cheers.
Abraham, Big L, Tricky Nicky, Will, Astral, Carl, Big Blue, Charles Pommels, Astral, Abraham, the real ones, and Dejar Rivers and JP. Big L.
Great show, guys.
Mad love to you guys. We'll see you guys later next week.